right, so now we're going to go on to some more applications of business problems. Our first one here is the break even. We've done something very similar before. We did break even or make a profit. So we had a greater than or equal to. Since we're just doing straight break even, I'm going to have C of X is going to be equal to R of X. So I'm going to make my cost equal to my revenue. And I gave you both of those up above, so we didn't even have to create those ourselves. And then we're going to solve for X. Be careful. Do not move that 260X. It's by itself. We need to leave it by itself. Instead, move the 195X over. That's going to give me 8,320 is equal to 65X. I'm going to keep solving for X by dividing by 65. So X is equal to 128. So we would need, our break-even quantity is 128 items. So down here for B, if the company can produce and sell no more than 272 units, should they do so? Explain using a complete sentence. Several different ways to think about this. So I needed 128 to break even. 272 is larger than 128. So that means that it would be a good idea. So if I had something that was smaller, if I had only 120, then I shouldn't produce them because I wouldn't have broken even. Anything higher than 128, I would be making a profit on. That's before we called it break even or make a profit. Slightly different wording. This time we're just saying that's the break even point. Kind of the definition, what we're assuming by break even point is anything we make more than that, we'll be making a profit. Anything less than that, we would not be making a profit. So we can write that up in kind of any sentence there. So I'll actually add on here, I'll say yes, because 272 is larger than 128. Therefore, we would be making a profit. There are other ways to think about this too. You could actually plug in numbers and compare them. So you might see people work it slightly differently, and that's okay. There are different ways to kind of go about and get that same answer here. So that's why we say just explain yourself, because there could be different ways to think about it. All right, and last, we've got reading a graph. Again, something that we've done before, but now we're just going to look at it in this business context, so kind of a review. The red line is our demand, and the blue line is our supply. So at 20 items, we're going to right here. For demand, I'm going to go to the red line right there, and then coming over, that looks like it's halfway between 100 and 120. So that would be 110. That's halfway between. For my next one, at what price are 13 items? So 13 is in between 12 and 14. And I'm going to go up to the supplied. And that looks like it's at 140. Now, equilibrium we haven't talked about before, but the equilibrium is going to be our point right here. That's when the supply is equal to the demand. So that quantity coming down is at 10 items. And the price that goes with that is in between 120 and 140, so it would be 130.